All right, if we could get you to take your seats, please, in just a moment, and we're going to get the formal program started here this evening. And I certainly would appreciate your attention to the podium, if at all possible. We're here to have fun. We're here to have a great time here tonight, and we're here also to help the Illinois Cancer Care Foundation. So we just want to say good evening and welcome to our event here tonight, which, of course, as you all know, is an event called CUREageous. CUREageous is all to benefit the Illinois Cancer Care Foundation. I'm going to be your MC for tonight. My name is Randy Rundle, and along with my co-host Stacy Campbell, I help start your day on the Light Rock 107 Wake Up Club. For those of you who don't know, that's 106.9 FM for all of our brand new listeners, I'm sure, that we have here tonight. Now, I'd like to thank Janet Varnes for inviting me to MC this wonderful event tonight. Let's thank Janet Varnes. Thank you, Janet. She is my boss tonight. I'm used to being bossed around by women, so it's not a problem. You know, when I think of Illinois Cancer Care, I immediately think of the highest quality, cutting-edge treatment. And I also think of the word family. And that's because everybody I have met in my many, many visits personally to Illinois Cancer Care has been so warm and friendly to me, just like family. Because you see, for the last couple of years, I have been a patient of Dr. Bajaj. I'm being treated for chronic lymphocytic leukemia and lymphoma, which I'm still battling right now. It started out to be pretty docile about 2 years ago, and then about 8 months ago, it unfortunately turned aggressive and unfortunately was unresponsive to traditional chemo. After some pretty rough times, things over the past few months have gotten so much better, and I'd like to personally thank Dr. Bajaj again here at this forum, and all of her staff and everybody at Illinois Cancer Care for their assistance because of her extra work to get me into a phase 1 first human trial of a new experimental drug, which I am now. The drug has done amazing things for me. It has eradicated most of my cancer at this point. It has allowed me to put on the 35 pounds that I lost back on again. It's incredibly improved my physical and my mental health. And this also shows just how absolutely vital that research is in this field. You know, when I say also that it's a family thing, my family has many other ties to Illinois Cancer Care as well. My mother is a patient of Dr. Bajaj. My wife is being treated by Dr. Prager, and my daughter is being treated by Dr. Lococo. Yeah, and that's no kidding. So when I say it's a family thing between my family and the Illinois Cancer Care family, I'm not making that up. And I thank every one of you for being here tonight. And of course, we're here to raise money for the Illinois Cancer Care Foundation. We're going to recognize and hear from some very, very special people here tonight. We're going to have some fun. We're going to enjoy a nice dinner. We're going to dance a little. You're going to take home some fantastic items. And generally, we're going to have a great evening. So what do you say we get it started? Let's bring up our first, well, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Thanks. Now I would like to introduce to you the Vice President for America's Distribution Services at Caterpillar, Incorporated, and the Director of the Illinois Cancer Care Foundation. Please welcome to the stage Pablo Koziner.
Good evening and welcome to CUREageous. I want to welcome you to the 5th annual CUREageous on behalf of the Illinois Cancer Care Foundation. And I'm going to talk to you very briefly about 3 things: 9/11, superheroes, and a moonshot. So 9/11, I believe that everybody in this room was impacted by the events on September 11, 2001. I think in all of our lives there's a pre-9/11 life, and there's a post-9/11 reality that we live in. I want to talk to you about 7/26/2013. Now that date probably doesn't mean anything to you, but it means everything to me, because that's my own personal 9/11 event. See, on 7/26/2013, I found myself in an office with a loved one and looking at a screen and being told that my loved one had cancer. And the days that followed 7/26 were confusing, they were highly emotional, there was sadness, there was fear, and it started a very long journey, a journey that we continue to be on. And during that time, in the early days, as I sat there dealing with this illness that has impacted my family, I attended a presentation. And the presenter said that tonight I'm going to talk to you about superheroes. I'm going to talk to you about Batman. I'm going to talk to you about Superman. I'm going to talk to you about Spider-Man, and the rest, the list goes on. And the reason he did that is he said that if you look at the lives of superheroes, their lives all begin with tragedy. Their lives begin with some element of trouble. And it is through that tragedy, it is through that suffering that sets their drive. See, through pain, they're driven to help others. And that was a very important moment for me because I went from feeling at the time like a victim of the illness that had impacted my family to taking that and saying, I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to take this pain that we're feeling and I'm going to do something positive to impact the lives of others that are going through this just like I am. And my family is. Because every single day, many families have their own 9/11 event. So clearly for me, there's a life post-7/26 that's very different than the life pre-7/26. And it's been hard, but it has had its silver linings. Now, if you're like me, you believe in your heart of hearts that there isn't a problem that cannot be solved, and I truly believe that. Because if in 1969 we could put a man on the moon with less computing power than what you have on your phone today, then we can certainly solve some of the world's biggest problems, and we can certainly solve some of the deepest illnesses that we face. And that's why we're here. And that's why we're here to celebrate every single person that is committed to this cause, every single patient that lives with this and fights this battle courageously, for all the caregivers of those patients, for all the nurses, doctors, researchers, administrative staff, and volunteers. Tonight is a celebration about this journey and this commitment to fight. And the fact that you are here tonight is an act of superheroism. The fact that you have taken your time and you invested your money to be here and to fight this illness is a superhero act. And I thank you deeply for being here tonight. So before I get off the podium here, I'd like to thank some of the members of the Foundation Board that are instrumental in the fight against cancer and this evening tonight. I'd like to thank and recognize Ann Bess, Dr. Paul Fishkin, Dr. Annette Lee Lidwisker, Robert Swank. And also in attendance representing the Illinois Cancer Care are Dr. Madhuri Bajaj, Dr. Jim Nost, Dr. Pawan Kish Kumar, Dr. Patrick Gomez, and Dr. Mike Vidier. And of course, this evening would not be possible without our many sponsors, and you have a booklet on your table. I'd encourage you to look at the names and recognize those sponsors because they made this event possible and they make this fight possible. So thank you to those sponsors. And I would like to call out in particular our CURE sponsors, Illinois Cancer Care and the Paradise. I'd also like to thank and recognize mission sponsors, Amgen, Cardinal Health, and Medivation. And of course, this evening would not be possible with the hard work of our volunteers that have given up their time to make this evening a successful and gallant celebration. So we'd like to express our gratitude to Teresa Kitson and Terry Baldy for their phenomenal community participation and responsible for your enjoyment tonight. Yes. I also want to recognize and thank the Illinois Cancer Care Foundation staff who work behind the scenes every day in supporting the work that we do, and the CUREageous Committee, Lauren Obalil, Leslie Schenkel, Becky Bonifoy, and of course Janet Barnes. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of CUREageous, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much, Pablo. Now we'd like to bring to the podium the co-chairs of the event here tonight. You heard their names mentioned just a moment ago, but please now officially join me in welcoming to the stage Teresa Kitson and Terry Baldy.
Good evening. Hi, everybody. So glad you're all here. Woo! Okay, on a serious note, we want to thank everyone for coming tonight and for donating and just being here for this special event. Teresa and I have worked very hard together, and we totally believe in this cause, and we hope someday there will be a cure for cancer. And none of this would be possible without the CUREageous committee, so I'd like all of you to stand that are on the committee, and we could just give a little applaud. Is anybody standing? Come on, I'm standing. Thanks, you guys, for everything, the program, the decorations, all the hard work behind the scenes, and also, same that everybody else has said, we want to thank Janet Barnes, director of the foundation, Leslie, Lauren, and Becky, who have been great to work with, and we couldn't have got through it without them, so we want to thank them as well. Thank you.
And tonight, Terry and I would like to recognize two very important people who have helped us a lot with CUREageous, and they also help us in our personal lives very much. It's been a long journey, and that is our husbands, Tim Williams and Dr. Steve Baldy. We thank you for all you two have done for us, for your encouragement, your love. We recognize what you've done, and we love you, and we thank you, and we could not have done it without you. Thank you, Tim and Steve. Thank you very much. Okay. The goal of tonight's event, of course, is to raise funds to support cancer patients. In the past 4 years, CUREageous has cumulatively raised $450,000. It is our goal this evening to exceed the $125,000 mark from last year, so that our 5-year cumulative total will exceed $500,000 or $500,000. We know there are many guests in the room this evening that are very familiar with the work of this foundation. For those of you who are joining us at CUREageous for the very first time, thank you for joining us. And we would like to share a very brief video which will demonstrate and describe the foundation's mission and demonstrate why we are all here this evening.
The Illinois Cancer Care Foundation is committed to providing compassion and support for those throughout central and western Illinois who face a cancer diagnosis. The foundation funds a variety of clinical research, education, and patient assistance programs. Working in partnership with Illinois Cancer Care physicians, patients have access to the latest treatment options offered through national clinical trials.
My college roommate happens to be on faculty at a medical school in Ohio. So I did, in fact, make a couple of phone calls and ask whether he felt or his colleagues felt that it was necessary for us to go elsewhere. Across the board, the answer was that the treatment Illinois Cancer Care offered locally was on par with any of the other places we had discussed.
I have told people, you can't find a better place. And why would you want to go somewhere else and have to be traveling when we have it right here?
Illinois Cancer Care. The foundation meets the financial shortfall for this program to help increase patient enrollment in the latest national research trials right here in our community. Foundation funds also help those faced with cancer meet the transportation and medical testing needs of their clinical trial. Every day, gifts made to the foundation break down the barriers to clinical trial participation and allow this important program to grow.
Without foundation support and without clinical trials, cancer treatment would be stalled, and that we make small incremental improvements year by year, but without the improvements that we've had on clinical trials, we wouldn't have doubled survival rates from what they were 20 years ago, and I think that those show how we've improved with cancer care.
10% of all cancers have a genetic basis. Foundation grants support genetic screening for hereditary colorectal cancer and are now funding a new program in molecular tumor sequencing. For certain types of metastatic cancers, new drug compounds can target molecular pathways and disrupt the signals that tell cancer cells to divide and spread. Eligible patients can receive financial support for their tumor sequencing from generous contributions to the Illinois Cancer Care Foundation. A comprehensive risk assessment program for breast cancer is being conducted in our community and partially funded by foundation contributions. Data collected in these programs will empower families to understand their cancer risks. With uncertainty relieved, informed decisions can be made.
Genetic testing helped with my treatment plan. It helped determine that I needed to face some hard truths and have a complete hysterectomy and also have my colon removed, which in fact did save my life.
When a family is dealing with cancer, it affects everything in their lives. The holidays can be especially hard. That's why the Foundation's Trust and Hope program steps in to provide meals at Thanksgiving and holiday gifts to these families. In just the last 5 years alone, nearly 800 Thanksgiving meals have been delivered, and nearly 150 children and their parents have received holiday gifts.
I believe the Illinois Cancer Care Foundation is an absolute marvel in this community. There are very concrete things done absolutely every day. Research, clinical trials, patient education, and very tangible things like gas cards to help people who are diagnosed with cancer.
Hope. It is one of the most important therapies for the management of a cancer diagnosis. The value of hope is beyond price, but you can make it possible through your gift to the Illinois Cancer Care Foundation. Your neighbor, your coworker, your friend, your family. Lives can be changed by cancer at any time, but your support will make a difference.
So once again, we just want to say thank you to everyone that is here and participating. You really do make a difference. Also, we want to thank our MC, Randy Rundle of Light Rock 107, for joining us this evening and helping this event to run smoothly. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you to those ladies. Obviously, it's Teresa and Terry. Let's hear it again for Teresa and Terry and a great job that they've done. Yeah. Let's see, Teresa and Terry, that would be TNT, and they've obviously done a dynamite job to put this event on tonight. Come on, you were thinking about it too, weren't you? Come on. We got some housekeeping things we want to talk to you about now, like the structure of the evening and all the activities and some of the highlights that we're going to be doing here tonight. First of all, the silent auction. This is an amazing silent auction that we have here tonight. More than 40 different items. The auction actually has really gone high-tech this year, too. It's electronic this year, so you can bid by cell phone or through iPads. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you check that out. Hopefully, a volunteer in the check-in area got you registered before you entered the ballroom. Now, if for some reason that you got, you kind of snuck by them, there are volunteers circulating in the room that can help you get registered so you can do your electronic bidding on the silent auction items. Now, the auction items and the bids will be scrolling on the screens, the video screens that you see here behind the stage and around the ballroom throughout the evening. And you will make all bids, and you will receive bid notifications via email or text message, whichever you signed up for in advance of or when you checked in. And if you have any questions, just ask one of those great people on the committee. They're the people wearing those beautiful corsages here tonight, too. Now, we've got three wonderful events on a raffle here tonight. This is incredible events we've got here. First of all, we've got a Takori cushion-shaped necklace and earrings, which are clear-cut quartz over green onyx, set in sterling silver and 18-karat yellow gold. They're valued at $2,200 and generously donated by Bremer Jewelry. Thanks to Ashley Daly and her team from Bremer Jewelry who are with us here this evening. Where are you, Ashley? Thank you very much. There you are. Thank you very much to Ashley and her staff from Bremer Jewelry. We also have a beautiful Natural Ranch mink cape with silver fox trim valued at almost $15,000, generously donated by Jeff Brahms at Brahms Furs and Fashions. We have a Chicago weekend getaway also. You'll be able to enjoy dinner, a Bulls basketball game, and maybe Derrick Rose will play, maybe not. You never know about him. And a luxurious evening at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in the Windy City. This is valued at $1,000 and generously donated by Dr. and Mrs. Steve Baldy and Pat Haranka. So we thank you very much for that donation. The tickets are $50 a piece or 3 for $100. And don't forget also tonight, we're selling Curetinis again this year. Now you can get your first martini or your first Curetini in a glass for $10 and the refills are $8. And we've got a brand new Curetini recipe this year. They were voted on by many in the room this evening. The Curetini tasting held at UFS last month yielded 2 delicious martinis, which will be featured here tonight. The first is called the Ruby Red Easy Breeze, and that's going to be available now and throughout the evening. And the second martini is called Rolo, you know, like the candy Rolo, like the chocolate and the caramel candy Rolo. It is a decadent after-dinner drink made with fudge brownie, butterscotch, and caramel liquors. Also, when I was standing out and talking to Dave Kinziger at the photo booth, and a lot of you just kind of looked at that and said, oh my God, it's a camera. Well, I'm sure you've seen those before. Don't forget to get your picture taken with your family and your friends in the hallway just outside the ballroom to my left. Also announced the Rock Doc presentations will also begin in about 30 minutes. Until then, we're going to let you enjoy the buffet, each other's company, and the fierce competition for those auction and raffle items. Don't forget, if you did not get registered or signed up for the silent auction electronically when you came in, please see some of the people around the room. They'll help you do that. And go ahead and get your raffle tickets now for those incredible raffle items. All right? So we'll be back in just a few minutes. The Rock Doc presentation will be coming up in about 30 minutes. In the meantime, enjoy dinner, enjoy drinks, enjoy each other's company. Start bidding on the silent auction items and start buying those raffle tickets. And again, we thank you very much for being here to fund the Illinois Cancer Care Foundation at CUREageous. I would like to introduce, and I would like you to help me welcome to the podium the Foundation Secretary, Dr. Annette Lee Lindquister, and the Executive Director of the Illinois Cancer Care Foundation. Please join me in welcoming Janet Varnes to the podium, along with Annette Lee Lindquister.
Good evening. Oh boy, I'm nervous. This feels like presenting at the Oscar. Okay, so it's my pleasure to be the presenter for the 2014 Rock Docs Award. The recipients of the awards are physicians in our community who has been working avidly in promoting clinical research and compassionate about our patients in the area. Their works help enhance the life of our patient and their family in their battles against cancer. The 3 physicians that honor tonight exemplify the drive and passion for research and compassionate for our patient care. And please help me welcome our Rock Doc Award 2014. Our first recipient is Dr. John Hafner. Some might call Dr. Hafner a mad scientist balancing his work as an emergency department physician at OSF San Francisco Medical Center with his role as the chairman of the University of Illinois College of Medicine Institutional Review Board with oversight for local research. And let's learn more about his passion for research and his patient.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Hafner. I am an attending physician at the OSF St. Francis Emergency Department and co-chair of the UEComp IRB, and I am a Rock Doc. One word to describe myself as a physician and researcher, I think, is passionate. I think I really feel passionate about most things that I do, to the point where I get myself into trouble a little bit by getting involved in a little too many things, but I really feel passionate about delivering good care and having patients get good care and doing the job right. So it's really fun for me to do a lot of these different roles that I take on, because it's so much fun to get to know everybody involved.
Dr. Hafner is an emergency room physician by trade. So in his role as an IRB chairman, I think he has compassion for all patients. I mean, he works in the emergency room, so he sees everything.
Dr. Hafner tries to keep life light for us, because it is very tense, especially when researchers are wanting to do things on very serious diseases. So he is quick with a joke or a quick pun that we have to be on our toes to catch. And then as we all look around at each other and realize that it was funny, then it's okay to laugh. And then it breaks the tension, and then we move on and address whatever serious issues have to be addressed.
Well, I often try to keep things light at the IRB meetings or various places, but I think sometimes my brain gets away from me a little bit. I remember one time that I had to talk about how they were trying to figure out something was QI research or regular research, and I said it's oftentimes, what I thought of was, it's often like pornography, in that you know it when you see it. But it really didn't come out quite right, and it was fairly shocking to everybody involved. So now I kind of regret that I even said that, but I like to keep it light at the meetings, and I like to keep things going, and I think